All right. Good evening, everybody. How are you guys doing? I hope you had a splendid evening. If you're live, kindly drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know you're live so that I can see you here. Drop a comment below. Drop an emoji. Drop your name. Tell me your name and where you're watching from. I can see we have a couple of people hooked up already. Awesome, 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 awesome. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know where you're watching from. Just drop a comment in the comment section. You're all welcome. You're all welcome. Okay, so tonight we are going to be having a very interesting conversation about how to build a seven-figure freelance writing career, even if you are a complete novice. How to build a seven-figure freelance writing career, even if you're a complete novice. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, drop your favorite emoji so that you can hear. I want to be sure you can hear me. Let me take a look and be sure you guys can hear me. Amazing. Beautiful. So I'll be sharing my slides in a couple of minutes. Okay, I can see Hafsat. I can see Hafsat. I can see you, that you can see me. You can hear me as well. So if you're also there, let me know you're here. Let me know you're here. Awesome. Okay, great. All right, so I'll just go ahead and share my screen. Tonight, I'll be talking about how to build a seven-figure writing, freelance writing career, even if you are a complete novice. Even if you're a complete novice. So I'm going to start by way of introduction. Some of you already know who I am. Some of you don't know who I am. But whether you know me or not, I'm going to introduce myself to you. Okay, I can see a number of you are online. I can see Tanji from Minnesota, United States of America. I can see Nora. Yes, I can see Nora from Nigeria. I can see Ayomide Felix. And you guys rock. You're all doing well. Okay, so tonight let's talk about how to build a seven-figure freelance writing career, even if you're a complete novice. So for those who are just meeting me, my name is Sunday Yabi, and I'm a man that wears many hats. Okay, you can see I'm wearing one of my Yoruba hats tonight. Okay, first of all, I'm the managing director of Primus Global Solutions Limited, and it's a group of companies with, agro-allied content creation and e-commerce subsidiaries. I'm also the founder of Seven Figure Pen Academy. It's an academy that trains writers and help them sell their gifts in the international market in exchange for hard currency. Uh, I'm a passionate business builder and a writer with close to $30,000 from freelance writing alone. And it's not been so long I started. Okay, so you might be asking yourself, why did I tell you all that? Did I mention all of that just to boast? The answer is no. So I told you all that to let you know that it's possible to create an income flow as a writer, all right, and succeed. And for me to do that, I'll need to tell you my story. So basically, I started my business in the year 2020 during the pandemic. Before then, I was working for a non-governmental organization, and my salary was about 25,000 naira. I started by the way, 5,000, then 7,500, then 10,000 naira. Then it was increased to 15,000, and from 15,000 it was increased to 25,000 naira. Uh, but then, things weren't going so well for me. Uh, I had at the time a pregnant wife, and then, of course, during the lockdown, my wife put to bed just around the same time with the lockdown. I had a newborn baby, I had bills to settle, I had lots of things to do, and I had very little money. So I decided to, come up with something else that was going to pay my bill or my bills. And that was how I stumbled into the online business. Eventually stumbled into writing. I got into other businesses, and in my first year, I didn't really make any money. Okay, I didn't really make any money. But then, in 2021, I did almost 50 million, about 50 million from our agro allied businesses. But I made little profit, and the profit was not enough. It wasn't enough to do anything. Basically, you would think that from that 50 million, naira, I had lots of profit, but I barely had any profit. So it was still not the solution to my problem. So I had to go further in search of something that was going to put more money in my hand. And so in 2022, I started writing officially. And in my first year, I started, by the way, in December of 2022. I started, I think, December 23rd, I believe, December 23rd, some days to Christmas, December 23rd, 2023. And before the end of that year, basically, it was just like 1 week to the end of the year, I bagged my first 50,000 naira from writing. First 50,000. And the funny thing was that every single dime of that 50,000 naira was profit to me. There was no capital, everything was profit to me. So it seemed like, something nice to do. So I took it more seriously. I took it seriously. And in 2023, the next year, I scaled up and I made 5.5 million naira throughout the entire year. Okay. And after doing that, I discovered that it was quite a good year. Okay. It was quite a good year. So I decided to scale it up even further. And of course, 2024, 2025 it's been beautiful. Now the funny thing was I did all of that without a laptop or any fancy equipment. So that's the beautiful thing about writing. First of all, you don't need huge capital. The only capital you need is knowledge capital, skill capital, intellectual capital. That's the only capital you need, right? And you just need your phone and an internet connection. So that was, fascinating to me. Now, uh, even though you've heard my story, right? I'd like to tell you a couple of stories, one or two or three other stories of some people who are doing similar to what I'm doing in the writing industry, and they are doing it very well. So let me start by telling you a story. And it's the story about this guy you can see on your screen right now. I don't know if you can see my screen. How many of you can see my screen? Let me know if you can see my screen. I want to tell you a story about this guy. His name is John Iwuzo. Can you all see my screen? All right. So let me tell you the story of John. His name is John Iwuzo. By the way, you can Google him. Yeah. Okay. So I can see. I can see you guys. I can see your chat. You can Google this young man. His name is John Iwozo, something like that. Okay. My apologies if I mutilated the name. And he's just 23 years old. He's 23 years old. But let me show you something shocking. Last year, 2024 alone, John made $121,426 from writing alone, just in 2024. And you can Google this, by the way. You can check it out. Okay, you can Google it online. John made $121,426 $121,426 from writing alone in 2024. For context, that is 194 million, right? 281,600 naira. I don't know about you, but that sounds that sounds like a lot of money. Okay. And even if you're already doing well, you're already making a lot of money. This is not something bad you can add, to your bank account. I think so, right? It's something good you can add to yourself. And the funny thing is, just like I said, the only thing he had to invest into making this amount of money was his intellectual capital. The intellectual capital he invested, his time, his skill, basically. So it's something you can do yourself too. Okay. But the question is, how did John start? How did he start? How did he jump into writing? Now, John started with no formal writing background. Okay, like some of you on this call are tonight. Probably some of you don't have any formal training. I don't have any university training in writing. I got, of course, I skilled up. I learned how to write. And writing, by the way, is not my favorite thing in the world to do. It's not like I'm passionate about writing, but I'm a creative person. I'm passionate about creativity. Okay. So there are some of you, in case you are here tonight and you say, maybe writing is not for me because I don't have a formal training. I'm not a journalist. I didn't do literature in school. Guess what? As a matter of fact, my worst subject in school when I was in secondary school was literature. I refused to join the arts simply because of that subject, literature and government. Those two subjects, I hated them. Okay, I hated those two subjects. But that it's funny how things turned out. The very thing I hated became the very thing that's paying my bills today. Okay. So he started from no formal writing background, but quickly leveraged free online courses to learn copywriting and content creation, SEO, technical writing. By the way, he's a technical writer. Okay. John is a technical writer for software as a service companies, that is SaaS companies, and mostly cybersecurity companies. Now, John began on Upwork by taking low-paying gigs to build his portfolio and use LinkedIn to share tips on freelance writing. So if you go on LinkedIn and you type the name John Iwozo on LinkedIn. By the way, if you're a writer here, I would advise you to connect with him because he shares lots of valuable tips. Okay, so you can just go and search for this guy on LinkedIn and connect with him. If you research about him, you'll find all these stories I'm telling you tonight. You find these stories on his LinkedIn page. So that was how John, broke into writing. And John is just a young chap. He's a young chap. But you might say John is young, okay? You might say John is very young. Maybe you are not so young. You are not, you are a little bit more advanced in age, and you say, oh well, he can do all that because he's a young chap. He can change his life. He can just, change the trajectory of his life. What about Bamidele? How about Bamidele? Bamidele is a 32-year-old man in Nigeria as well. He lives in Nigeria. Now, Bamidele became a freelance writer in 2009 at the age of 16. He started at the age of 16. He's still into that up to today, and is one of the very successful writers we have in Nigeria. You can also check him up on Twitter. You can check him up on LinkedIn. Okay, now he started, from his hometown with little electricity, no, internet, no reliable internet connection, just like some of us in Nigeria do. Okay. He basically taught himself blogging. Well, not taught himself, he learned it, but, putting in the work, practicing, and doing all of that. And then he began to pitch international clients via forums. Okay. Eventually, he landed a gig on platforms like Fiverr. By 2017, all right, by 2017, he was already earning over $100,000 annually. So he's a top earner today. and he built a blog that mentors thousands of young people. By the way, you can check this on Google. Just type "writers in charge." Okay, writers in charge. You find his blog, Writers in Charge, where he mentors lots of young people. And if you are a writer or an aspiring writer, you'll find lots of useful resources on his blog. So you can just Google it, put his name, Bamidele Onibalusi. That's his name, Bamidele Onibalusi. As you can see from the picture here, Bamidele Onibalusi. Okay, you can just Google his name and then add Writers in Charge to that, and he mentors thousands of people. Okay, before I go to Bamidele, before I move to the next thing, let me talk about a young man called Messiah. Unfortunately, I forgot to include that in this slide. Some of you might have heard about a young man called Messiah Ekaite. He's also a Nigerian. I believe he's 22 or 23 years old now. And I was also trained by him. Funny enough, he trained me, and he's a young chap doing very, very, very exceptionally well as a writer. And as at the last time I checked, he has trained over 4,000 people on freelancing alone. And he, from one job, just one job on Upwork, he did over $32,000. And this is coming from a young man who started as a pigeon seller. Okay, I think at the age of 19 or so. 19 or 18, he started by selling pigeons. If you know pigeons, the bird. Okay, so Messiah started by selling pigeons, and fast forward 2019, 2020, today he's a top rated freelancer on Upwork. So by now you should understand that there are loads and loads of opportunity, for people who are aspiring writers. If you want to become a writer, freelance writing is the way to go. If you are looking for a side hustle, if you are looking to build a career, if you are looking to start something different, or if you just want to increase your income, there's a lot of opportunity in writing. And I'd like to share that with you tonight. And not just share that with you, I'd like to show you how, you can actually get started and build a thriving, flourishing freelance writing career. Not only am I a writer today, I've trained lots of people in the writing space, and I've also employed lots of people equally. I have an agency where I employ people who write for me and they get paid. Okay, so writing is a great thing to do. So let's talk about the opportunities, the hidden opportunities in freelance writing. All right. So I'll share basically three, and then I'll expand it as we go on. So basically, the first opportunity is the fact that that industry has low manpower. Okay, so there are not many people, who are fulfilling the demand for, the writing jobs that we have out there. So if you take a look around you, you could think that there are lots of people who are into writing, but and you think that it's saturated. But I tell you the fact, it's not. It's not, because the number of writers we have compared to the demand and the need for writing has become astronomically, or well, would I say, is abysmally poor. Okay, there aren't enough writers to meet the writing demands that we have in the world, and this is the reason. The reason for that is because the world is getting more and more, globalized. I mean, digitalized. That's what I meant to say. Okay, we are becoming increasingly digitalized. On a daily basis, there is a need to turn everything we do into content, into written content. And every form of content, by the way, begins from writing. Whether it's video content, whether it's audio content, whether it's pictures, they all begin from writing. And I like to teach people this. I like to say it this way, that the internet we now enjoy today is basically two things. Okay, the internet is basically two things. We have the front end and then we have the back end. The front end is what we all see and interact with on a daily basis: pictures, videos, audios, and all those kind of good stuff. Okay, but the back stuff is kind of like the infrastructure of the internet, which is codes. Okay, so we have the back end and we have the front end. We have the infrastructure and we have the superstructure. So the infrastructure is where we have people like the cybersecurity guys, we have the tech guys, the developers, the web developers, the programmers, the software developers, all of those good stuff. Okay, all those guys that make sure that we have the infrastructure to build everything we want to build on the internet. But then that's one aspect of it. We then have the front end, which is what we call, content, basically content. And there are different types of content. What I'm doing right now is a form of content because this is a webinar and I'm hosting it live on YouTube. This is a content, okay? It's a piece of content, all right? And if your favorite musician releases, a music audio, that's content. If it's a video, that's content. If it's written, blog post, what have you, they are all content. Now here's the point. 82%, a whooping 82% of Western companies rely on content to drive sales. Today, if you are not on the internet, you are nowhere. Okay, and you don't get on the internet by jumping on the internet. You get on the internet by content, and that's where you and I, writers and aspiring writers, come in. So 82% of Western companies rely on content to drive sales, yet 63% of US uh, um, small and medium businesses lack the budget or staff to produce it consistently. So look at the statistic. 82%, okay, of companies require content to drive up sales, but 63% of them lack the budget for full-time staff. So what do you think? That 63% will be looking to outsource that role to freelancers. Why? Because they don't have the budget to pay full-time staffs. Okay, they don't have the budget to pay full-time staffs. And that takes me to my next point, okay, which is costly talent. All right. So, like I just said, if you want to hire a full-time content writer on your team, you are going to be paying him or her something alarmingly huge. Okay. And so, for instance, if an American company wants to hire an American writer, okay, to write content or copy to boost their sales, it would be absurd to hire a writer and then pay them $50. Okay, but you can outsource that job to somebody in India or somebody in Pakistan or somebody in Nigeria, somebody in Ghana, somebody in Togo or Benin Republic, and they will gladly take that amount. Okay, and I made a little calculation here. By the way, $50, what $50 is kind of miserly, is abysmally low for somebody in the in Nigeria. I know a lot of people that do not earn 80,000 naira in a month. I mean, in an entire month. In an entire month, that's less than something that somebody probably pays for parking tickets in Los Angeles. Okay, all right. So based on that, there's an ever widening market gap. So there's a high need for content. Okay, most 63% of those companies don't have the budget to hire, full-time staff to do that job. And then there's a very large market for freelancers who will gladly take that job in third world countries where some of us are. All right. So that's a good opportunity for you and I. But then if you probably live in first world countries, like some of the people on this call are, it's also something beautiful. There are some of my mentors and people who I follow online who write, and they do this full time. They are digital nomads. They do this full time. So I know I know a couple who sold their house, bought a trailer, began to travel. They went there, currently going on a road trip throughout the United States of America, and both of them write for a living. They are freelancers. They are digital nomads. They write for a living, and they get paid heavily. Okay, they get paid heavily to do that. So it's something you can also do as even someone who lives in a first world country. That takes me to my third point. Okay, diverse content. Now, what does that mean? Western brands need diverse voices to reach global audience. but local writers often lack the cultural depth to deliver. So what am I trying to talk about? So if you go on YouTube, for instance, you see a whole new category of content creators emerging, and people want to create content that resonates with other parts of the world, not just America, the UK, Canada, and the rest of them like that. So I once worked for a client who is, I think, from the Netherlands, but she has a YouTube channel on slavery. She has a YouTube channel that details everything that happened during the slave trade era with in Western Africa. So as somebody who has never been a slave, somebody who is not a descendant of slaves, somebody who doesn't have the history of slavery, it might be quite difficult for them to come up with diverse content that caters to the audience of people who want to learn about the history of slavery, especially Africans, Gen Zs who are coming up. They don't know anything about slavery. Okay, but some of us had parents tell us stories that their grandparents or great grandparents told them about the era of slave trade. Some of us have first-hand information. Okay, we are not first-hand information. I could say first-hand information passed down to several generations. All right. By the way, if you guys are still with me, let me know. Let me know you're still with me. I want to see. Oh yeah. Let me take some time to attend to your comments. So I can see Tanji. She said, my goal. Nora says, I can see your screen. Tanji would say yes. Tanji said, my goal. I believe you're talking about when you are relating to when I talked about, being a digital nomad and, just go on a road trip. And so I believe that's what she's trying to talk about. Ayomide Felix says, I am still with you, sir. Yeah, glad to know you guys are still with me. I love that, by the way. All right. So I don't know why. Okay, yeah. I can see comments here. Yeah, let me show your comments. Because I want to be sure that you guys are with me and I want you to know that I'm following you. So Ojo Oluwa Toba, or yeah, Toby, I'm with you. Thank you. Ayomide Felix, I'm still with you, sir. Thank you very much. Tanji Word says, my goal. Yeah, that would be a great one. I love that. It's something I would love to do too. Yeah. Nora Oko. Yeah, I can see your screen. Okay, so that's beautiful. So let me proceed. So still talking about, slave trade and the rest of them like that. So because of this cultural depth, these cultural differences, someone who is probably creating a faceless YouTube channel and wants to talk about something that affects Africa and Africans would like to get the perspective of someone, who has either lived it or has slavery in their, ancestry. Okay, so that's where you and I come in. Another thing I some time ago I said in another forum, one of the things I enjoy very well about in this niche, I write a lot of religious content, and because I have first-hand knowledge, I have good knowledge. Let me not use the word first-hand. I have good knowledge in that area. I have made lots of money writing for lots of clients. It became something I just pitched my tent, and lots of people keep looking for me in that area because I seem to thrive doing that. So the need for diverse content, okay, content that will not readily be provided by the West or other people, we can find that's a good opportunity for us to come in. You understand what I'm trying to talk about? I hope you understand that. So why is content writing, or why is freelance writing, I meant to say, a smart choice? Number one, because there's low barrier to entry with global demand. So all you need is basically your skill, your mobile phone, and internet connection. So the barrier to entry is very, 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 very extremely low. It's not cybersecurity. It's not data analysis. You need, you need to go and study maybe cybersecurity for maybe 6 months to 1 year, okay, or data analysis or any, technical stuff like that. It's just writing. We do that on a daily basis. We do that on a daily basis. And funny enough, if you are writing on a daily basis and always uploading content to social media and you're not making money from your content, you need to take a second look at that. You may not be making money from YouTube or what do you call it, TikTok, but you sure should be selling your services or your knowledge to people who are making money and take a slice of the pie as well. Okay. Number two, it's easy to stand out in a crowded market by niching down. So it's very, very easy to stand out because there are tons of niches in the writing space. You can just pick something that is less crowded and just stand out and make your cool money. Just like the story of the young chap I told you earlier on, John, who basically, he went to study cybersecurity. He studied cybersecurity and then came in and became a technical writer for, SaaS companies. So he that's why he's making it good, and it's good. He then added SEO to his skills, and that makes him uniquely good. If you check if you make some researches on Google, most of the top content you find on Google are his work. Okay. Number three, you get to earn in foreign currency. That's another reason why it's great to get into content writing. Now, number four, writing is a top demand skill. In 2023 alone, Upwork reported over $3.8 billion earned by freelancers across 10,000 plus skills, with writing consistently ranking among the top categories due to its versatility. Okay, just think about that. $3.8 billion on Upwork alone in 2023. That's excluding Fiverr, excluding LinkedIn, excluding people per hour, excluding remotely and every other, freelance platform. That's even excluding, just plain social media or Facebook and YouTube ads. I read somewhere recently that the global freelancing market has hit about $525 billion. $525 billion. That's crazy, right? So it's such a huge industry, and writing is at the top of it. Today, AI writing is like one of the top most skills you can have out there today. Writing is consistently ranking among the top categories due to its versatility. Now, let's talk about some common myths before I get into the nitty-gritty of tonight's discussion. Let's talk about some common myths about, freelance writing. Number one is that you need a journalism degree to succeed. That's not true. Okay, you don't need any professional, training. You don't need to go to school to become a professional writer. The truth is that skills and portfolio matter more than your, what do you call the name now? Your training in school. Okay, your academic background. That's what I meant to say. Number two myth out there is that, okay, freelance writing is oversaturated. That's not true. The truth is that the demand for niche writers is skyrocketing on a daily basis. I just explained that to you. It's skyrocketing. And you don't have to take my word for it. Just go and do your research. Ask AI, ask Google, ask whatever we ask today. Okay? You don't need to take my word for it. Just check it out. It's skyrocketing on a daily basis. And finally, number three, they say you can't earn a living as a freelance writer. That's not true. Okay. If you know Alex Cartoni, if you know people like Dan Locke, if you know people like Seth Godin, and some of all these people, they are top writers. They fundamentally built an empire on writing, copywriting, content writing, marketing, sales and marketing, and the rest of them like that. So that's not true. Top freelancers earn 6 and 7 figures annually. I just showed you a couple of examples right away. Heck, I am an example myself. Okay. Now, here's the big question of the night. How do I build a freelance writing career using what I call the right now framework? Okay. The right now framework. So if you are taking notes, this will be a very good place to take notes. But before I go into that, are you learning anything? If you are learning anything, drop a fire emoji in the comments and let me see you. Let me know you are still with me. Let me feel the pulse of the house. Are you guys still with me? Are you all still with me? Are you all still with me? Con Gilbert, Tedo, we are still with you, sir. Thank you very much, Gilbert. Ayomide dropped the fire emoji. Thank you, Ayomide. Who is still with me? Are you all still with me? Are you all still with me? Where's everybody in the house? Okay, great. I can see you guys. Awesome. All right. So, okay, I see Kenneth Onyekachi. Kenneth Onyekachi, I see you. Ojo Oluwatobi, I see you. Y'all are doing great, by the way. So thanks for staying on. So let me get into the meat of the stuff. Okay. So how do you build a freelance writing career using the Right Now framework? So there's a framework I call the Right Now framework. This is the framework, the Right Now framework. With this framework, you can go from novice to thriving freelancer in a matter of months, not years. Okay. In a matter of months, 30 to 90 days. In 30 to 90 days, with this framework I'm about to give you, you can go from novice, from 0 to 70, 80 in a matter of months. Okay. Now, if you are serious about building a 7-figure writing career, this is a simple, actionable, and proven roadmap for you to follow. So you are probably asking right about now, what is the Right Now framework? What is the Right Now framework? Let me share it with you. So Right Now is simply an acronym. Okay, it's an acronym. And Right Now means W stands for write well. So number one, if you follow these 8 things, these 8 steps, you are going to be very well on your way to building your 7-figure, freelance writing career. Okay. Number one is write well. If you learn how to write well, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be like a guru. You just have to be good enough. Okay. You just have to be good enough. Somebody says best is the enemy of good. Okay. Or I can't remember how they said that. Okay. So just be good enough, all right, and take your development one step at a time, one day at a time. If you can write the standard basic, writing, you are good to go. You don't have to be a guru. Number 2 is R, which stands for research profitable niches. And then we move to the next step, which is invest in your portfolio. So if you follow these steps, so start by learning how to write, then move on to research the niches, the profitable niches that you want to settle down for. Okay. And then you move on to the next level, which is invest in your portfolio. Okay. And then next, you target the right platform, whether it's Fiverr, LinkedIn, Upwork, wherever. I see a lot of people, they are everywhere. They are on Fiverr, they're on LinkedIn, there are people per hour. They are I laugh when I see such people. Okay. You got to know the platform that works well for you and focus on that platform. After you have successfully built something that that is stable, you can then start branching out to other platforms. Okay. And then next, you have excel at pitching. So become so good at pitching. So learn how to write, find the right niche, invest in creating a great portfolio, pick the right platform, then learn how to pitch, learn how to talk to clients. Learn how to talk to people in such a way that they will want to spend money with you. Next, which should be number 6, negotiate like a pro. Learn how to negotiate like a pro. O stands for open your foreign accounts, and then W, which is the last one, stands for win repeat customers or repeat clients, because that's how you grow a 7-figure business as a writer. Repeat clients. I've been working with one client. There's a particular client I've been working with since 2022. I'm still working with that client up till now. That's what do you call the name? 3 years or so. I've been working with that client from 2022. Yeah, my very first week as a writer. So that makes that company has made me a lot of money, because I learned how to get them to come back to work with me. All right, now before I move on to the next thing, are you still with me? So I can still see that a number of you are still here. Now, I want you to imagine this for a moment, okay? I want you to imagine this. Take some time. And I really want you to do this. Don't just listen to me while I say this. I really want you to do that, okay? Now, imagine this. Please do that. What if there was a way for you to sit with me for 4 weeks? Okay? What if there was a way for you to sit with me for 4 weeks, and I walk you through this framework step by step, every single step of the way, not just theory, okay? I'm going to take you, okay, I'm going to help you take a look at your skill level, help you fine-tune your writing, okay, so that it can become internationally acceptable, okay, and then help you find a niche where you can easily bag 7 figures as a freelancer. If you had the opportunity to do that, would you like that? Please answer me in the comment section. If you had the opportunity for me to mentor you for 4 weeks and show you step by step and take you through this right now framework, okay, is it something you would like? Okay, I can see your responses. Tanji said, yes, sir. Thank you, Tanji. Ayomide said, yes, sir. Ishola Praise Ministry says, yes, sir. Kenneth Onyekachi says, yes, sir. I saw a comment here. Let me check that comment out. Hello, sir. There are people with knowledge and others with technicality. I mean, some people can write while some can broadcast. I don't understand your question. I'll give you time for question. When it's time for questions, you can ask your question, because right now I don't understand this question. I don't want to break the flow of what we are sharing, okay? Anyway, I can see that quite a number of you. Okay, so Gilbert says, please, what does the W in the now stand for? Okay, win repeat clients. That's what it stands for. Win repeat clients. Win repeat clients. Let me take it back so that you can see it. Okay, win repeat clients. Okay, Ojo Oluwatobi says would love that. So I love that. I love that. So that's beautiful. So let me take it to the next level. Now, that's exactly what I want to do, by the way. And from the 7th to the 28th of June, 2025, I want to host a 1-month cohort. And why? Why do I want to do that? Okay, so you see, after 3 years of struggles, mistakes, finding out what works and what doesn't work, and finally having some results to show for it, I decided to review my strategies and my framework to just 10 people, 10 persons for the first time. I thought about content writing, I've thought about copywriting, I've thought about several other things. I've never thought publicly about what I do, what emphatically and what specifically I do as a writer. I have never taught it. I have never taught it publicly. In fact, one of my managers, I was discussing with one of my managers yesterday, and we were discussing, and I told him, I said, look, because I've taken my staff through a couple of trainings, I've taught them a number of things. I told him that even some of the things that give me the kind of results I have when I teach, or rather when I work, when I write, I have never taught even my own staff. I've never taught them. So the things I'm intending to share now, I have never taught them in public. So for the first time, after struggles, because sincerely I struggled, okay? I told you I started in 2020, but I landed my first job in 2022. That's 2 years. 2 years. My first job, the first job I landed before, I things picked up for me. The first job I landed was about maybe a $50 or $10. I'm not really sure. Okay, it was a $50 job. Then the client gave me a $5 paid test. I flopped it. The guy just paid me that $5. He just paid me the $5, like, well, just take it and go, but you didn't do well. Okay. So that was the first job I got. Then I got another $10 job. I did the job, submitted. The guy did till today, up till now that I'm talking to you, the guy didn't even acknowledge that I submitted the job. He didn't acknowledge. Okay. Upwork just released the $10 to me out of the contractual agreement. So I've made lots of mistakes. I know what works. I know what doesn't work. I know where people get stuck. Let me tell you the truth. The truth of the matter is, if you go to YouTube and gather random videos, you will learn how to write. Everything you need about writing is on YouTube. The problem is you don't know which ones to watch. You don't know which ones are the time wasters. You don't know which ones are the real things you need. I have spent 5 years making that mistake. Okay, so I want to take for the first time, and I mean it, I only want to teach 10 people. The reason I want to teach 10 people is because it has worked for me. I want to get 10 people who we can practice this thing together, and I can see results in their life. And then when I get results with these 10 people, then I'm going to open it to the general public in such a way that, I'm going to even run ads. I'm going to run Facebook, Google ads, and I'm going to, my next cohort after that, I'll be targeting 1,000 people. So I just want to show this secret to 10 persons, and I mean only 10 serious people. I'm not looking for people who don't have time to implement, because me too, I don't have time. If you don't have time to implement, I don't have time for you. If you are serious, I'll be serious. If you are not serious, I have loads of things to do. Okay, so I need just 10 people. And this framework I'm about to show you, this right now framework, is the same framework that gave me the results I'm about to show you now. Let me show you a couple of results. If you can see my screen, okay, these are two separate receipts. Okay, one has a payment of $895. It's actually $900, but for some reason I can't even remember why $5 was taken out of that. So as you can see, that is from one of my clients. Name is Matthias, but I'm not going to tell you the rest of the name. I obviously blood the rest of the information. That if you can see that, you can probably scroll to see if you're not seeing. So this is $895. So I'm not telling you something that I took a course and I've not practiced or something. I've been doing this for years. And this is one payment of $895. In case you don't know how much that is, if you're in Nigeria, multiply that by 1,600. To tell you how much that is, $895. And this what you have on the right is another screenshot of a payment of $813. $813. And I have many of them, by the way. You can imagine how many payment receipts I have from 2022. Some of my clients pay me on a weekly basis. Some pay me every 2 weeks. Some other clients pay me once in a month. So you can imagine how many receipts I have. But because it's not so smart to put a lot of financial details out there, these are old receipts. Okay, so if you can see the screen, the date you have here is 2024, November 4th, 2024. So they are old receipts. Okay, and I just picked a number of them, like 6 of them. This is another $825 receipt converted to naira at the rate of 1,701 naira. It's equal to 1.4 million naira. Imagine just for writing. 1.4 million, 1.4 million. Here you have another $756 converted at the rate of 1,710 naira is 1.2 million dollars. 1.2, sorry. Yeah, amen. 1.2 million naira. Okay. And then you have another one here of $489. You have another $485. Some, like I said, some of these payments are weekly, some of them are monthly, some of them are twice in a month. Now, I'm introducing for the first time the Right Now special cohort, and it's going to be a 4-week YouTube script writing cohort. So I'm not basically teaching you about content writing or copywriting or all of that. I'm teaching you about YouTube script writing because that's what I do. Okay. I focus mostly on YouTube script writing. So it's going to be a 4 weeks training, and I'm going to be bringing one of my friends. He's on LinkedIn. I'm not going to reveal his identity now until you come to the class. He's my friend. He's doing very, very, fantastically, amazingly well. He has written for many of the big brands and big names on YouTube. He's a YouTube script writer. He's going to teach you. I'm going to teach you everything I know about YouTube script writing. He's going to teach you everything he knows about YouTube script writing. And he's actually been on my neck for weeks and days now. Guy, when are we going to do this? When are we going to do this? So he can't wait to teach you, just like I can't wait to. Now, what is inside this cohort? What are the things you are going to be learning inside this cohort? Number one, you will have access to the Write Like a Pro. You have access to Write Like a Pro, where I will show you the fundamentals of writing professionally. So everything you need to know, the basics, the fundamentals, because you need to know that fundamental, okay, before you start proceeding to the more advanced things. I will show you the fundamentals of writing professionally so that you will have the raw materials to excel in any kind of writing. And the value for this is about 75,000 naira only. Just this one alone is valued about 75,000. Now, in case you doubt that, I have some people who are on my one-on-one mentorship group. On my one-on-one mentorship group. People pay, the least I charge for my one-on-one mentorship is 100,000 naira. 100,000 naira. That's the least I charge. And I have a couple of people in that group right now. Okay. So it's not just, these are not just bogus figures. I'm not just giving you bogus figures. Okay. Number two, you are going to learn the profitable niche research framework. I'm going to give that framework to you. Remember, we talked about the number one, W is write well. This one is going to help you achieve that. Number two is research profitable niche. I'm going to give you the framework, exact framework, for you to know what you are good at, to find where those who are looking for what you are good at are, so that you can, it will now become willing buyer, willing seller situation. So you can find those people who are already looking for you. So you don't go and start struggling with every other person and, be pitching for jobs on, for decades. You will not have to spend 2 years before you land your first job like help you and low competition niche that is beginner friendly, so that you will not waste your time in trial and error. So that's the number two thing you are going to get. Number three, I will show you my proven authority building portfolio blueprint. So I've seen a lot of people building portfolios. Their portfolios are weak. They are weak. If you see my portfolio, you will know instantly that I'm an authority in my field. Instantly, you will know. And I will show you how to craft your portfolio so that your portfolio will speak for you, even when you are not there. I will show you how to build a portfolio that instantly positions you as an authority figure to your prospect. Even if you have not written a single piece in your life, I will show you how to do this. This is the same blueprint I used in landing several of these high-paying clients I just showed you. And this alone is valued at 35,000 naira. Now, number four, I'm going to give you access to what is known as my hypnotic pitching secrets. There is a way to talk to people that will make them want to spend money with you. Now, you will learn how to write pitches that are hypnotic and hard to resist. Now, just a couple weeks back, maybe like a month, 4 or 5 weeks back, I used this same secret to hook the CEO of a 3 billion naira real estate company based in Ebonyi State, Nigeria. And I can show you proof of that. I can show you proof of that. Those of you who know the man they call billionaire mechanic, Chidomere, this palm tech guy, he made a post a couple of weeks ago and asked people, if you want to talk to investors are on my DM reading this. So if you have any business to pitch, kindly pitch. People are reading this, and I made a pitch on that post on Facebook. And the CEO of a 3 billion naira real estate company reached out to me. And that day we hopped on a meeting. The next week we hopped on a meeting and we started working on a proposal to do some work for them on YouTube. I'm going to show you exactly how to write those kind of pitches that we attract top CEOs. All right. That alone is valued at another 35,000 naira. Number 5. We are now going to get into the nitty-gritty of how to write viral scripts for YouTube. I'll show you how to write viral scripts for YouTube. I'll show you the secret I use in writing scripts that generate 2 to 3 million views on YouTube consistently. If you have ever seen my portfolio, you will see that I have lots of 1 million, 2 million views. I have some videos that are almost 3 million views. Okay. Clients love script writers who can write scripts that give them millions of views. There's a secret to it. There's a technology to it. I'm going to show you how to do that. That alone is valued at 50,000 naira. It's invaluable. Okay. Then number 6, I'm going to show you my never before seen client acquisition strategies. Okay. How I actually get clients. I'm going to show you how to actually get clients. You will learn how to find high paying clients using WhatsApp. Yes, you had that right. I believe you've never heard that before. You've heard of how to get clients using Upwork, how to get clients using Twitter, how to get clients using Fiverr, but you've never heard how to get clients using WhatsApp. So you will learn how to find clients using WhatsApp, Upwork, and LinkedIn. I'm going to specifically show you these 3 things. We are going to, myself and my friend, will show you these 3 things. And I will show you how to position your Upwork account in such a way that you attract lucrative jobs without searching for them. Yesterday, I got another job invitation. I don't even look for jobs. I don't look for jobs. Jobs come looking for me. The average freelancer who is just starting out, we go on Upwork and start searching for jobs. I don't search for jobs. Clients search for me. They search for me and they send me job invites. I'll show you how to do how you can get to that position. That alone is also valued at about 75,000 naira. And then I'm going to show you I'm going to give you practical worksheets, templates, and we are going to have accountability groups where that is going to help ensure that you implement everything and get results within 30 to 60 days. Okay, this alone is valued at about 25K. But that's not all, right? That's not all. That if this is all I'm going to be teaching you, I think it's worth more than it's worth a lot, right? But that's not all. I'm going to be giving access to the first 5 people. Remember, I'm only taking 10 people. The first 5 people to take action right now, tonight. I will give you access to my one-on-one group, my group mentorship, right? I told you that I have a couple of people in my personal mentorship, and I told you I charge 100,000 naira minimum for that. So you're going to get 30 days personalized mentorship from me to guide you through the process. So while other people are going to learn generally, I'm going to, okay, where are you right now? What are you doing? Okay, how did you do it? Let me see how you do it. Do it better this way. This is how to do it. So it's going to be a done with you session. Okay, that's valued about 100,000 for the first 5 people to pay tonight. And then, of course, if you are among the first 5 people, you stand a chance to gain automatic employment. So if you are looking for employment, if you are looking for somebody to employ you to, to practice, to work and earn as you learn. If you are good, if you learn and you do well, you stand a chance of getting automatic employment into my agency, where you will get steady jobs month in, month out. As in, there is no month, there's no week that my staff don't have jobs. So if you fall within this first 5 category, you stand a chance to winning on automatic employment. And I'm giving that to just one person among the 5, just one. And that means everything I've just read out to you, the total value stands at 470,000 naira. But before you before you get scared, I'm not doing this. I'm not giving this out for 470,000 naira. Okay, not 470,000 naira. So the big question then becomes, how much will a valuable cohort like this be worth, right? So I can hear some of you asking that questions already. I can hear some of you asking that question already. So how much will a valuable cohort like this be worth? So today you won't have to invest 470,000. No. Like I told you, this is an experiment, sort of. It's sort of an experiment. So I'm giving out to the first 10 people, to 10 people. I want to test what I know has worked for me. I want to see it work for other people. And these 10 people it works for. Let me tell you the truth. I really want to get your testimonials. That's what I want. Because when I start selling it to other people, I want to tell them, look, see people it has worked for. Okay. So you don't need to invest 470,000 naira today. In fact, you don't have to invest 300,000. Not even 150,000 naira. I know you are scared, but it doesn't have to be that. Not even 75,000 naira. But today, for just 30,000 naira, 30,000 naira, and you will have access to everything I just reeled out to you now. 30,000. For an investment of 30,000, I'll give you access to the cohort where you learn how you get access to Write Like a Pro, the profitable niche research framework. You get access to my proven authority building portfolio blueprint. You get access to my hypnotic pitching secrets, how to write viral scripts for YouTube, never before seen client acquisition strategies, practical worksheets, template, and accountability group, all for 30,000 naira. But let me make it even more interesting. Note, I'm only taking 10 people in this cohort, so this is only for serious people, like I said. But if you are among the first 5 people, I'm going to give access to the first 5 people for 20,000 naira. If you make payment right now, if you are making payment right now, you're among the first 5 people today. All you need to pay is 20,000 naira. After I have 5 people, the other 5 will have to pay 30,000 naira each. And this 20,000 naira is not just the only thing you get if you are part of the first 5 people. You're also going to be accessing everything I listed as the first in the fast action bonus package I gave. You know, you have access to my one-on-one mentorship, right? I give access to that, as well as automatic employment. So if you're going to also have automatic employment. Now that I've read all this out, this offer is for the first 5 people. Now, if you are interested, I'd like you to start making payment right away. Now, the account details to pay to is just pay 20,000 naira. If you are interested in being among the first 5, pay 20,000 naira to 9167 9198095. Pay to MoneyPoint Primus Global Solutions. Primus Global Solutions. Now, if you are outside Nigeria and you would like to take the opportunity and you need an international payment platform, a dollar account, I can give that to you. Now you can chat me up, but I'm going to drop it in the no, let me not do that. Let me get that number and add it right away here. Okay, you can send a chat. Let me do this. Let me add a number you can chat. Okay, send a message to this. I'm going to put a number up on the screen. Send a message to that number, and I will show you how to go about it if you're interested in that. Okay. So here's a number on the screen. These are, so those of you who are interested, go ahead and make payment right now. It's open. Now, for those who have questions, this is the time to ask your question. I think I'm done teaching for tonight. So if you have questions, please ask me your question and I'm going to answer your question. I saw somebody who was trying to ask me a question a while ago. Please ask me your question now. I would love to answer your question. I'd love to answer your question. Is that person still on the call? All right, okay. Somebody asking a question? So make your payment 20,000 naira to that money point account, and then you'll be added to the group, and we are going to get started on the 7th of June. 7th of June. On the 7th of June. Let me copy my international account details to the screen. I want you to see that. All right. So if there are no questions, I take it that we all enjoyed the class. Did you learn? Did you get value tonight? If you got value, please let me know you got value. Please. I want to know if I didn't waste your time tonight. Let me know if you got value. Let me know if you got value before I end the class tonight. Let me know if you got value. Let me know if you got value. I'm looking at the comments now. I want to be sure that you got value. I want to be sure you got value. All right. So we'll call it a night. Thank you so much, guys, for the time. It was great, hanging out with you tonight. I look forward to seeing you in class. See you later.